Hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is my first commentary video where I talk about the Holbrook Arma Metallic T paddle. In the background here, I am warming up with it, trying to get a feel for it, see what it's like, if it's poppy, how the control feels, the grip feels, all of the things that we all look for when we buy a new paddle. So I'm going to kind of jump in and out of this video, and at the end here, you'll have a kind of a more after-game explanation on my first thoughts of the paddle. So right away, this paddle to me feels like a cheat code. This thing hits like a truck, and I'll talk more about that in a couple clips in the video. But it hits hard. It's lightweight. It feels good at the net. It feels like it's real fast on the hands. It's really gritty. I feel like I'm having full control over the ball. Everything you want in a paddle, I love about it. And then I'll kind of talk more about in the other clips, but it could be because it's a 14 millimeter, and I usually use a 16 millimeter, and so that extra 2 millimeters or the minus 2 millimeters really makes a difference on the pop. And then the metallic T, and it could just be it's a brand new paddle. The grit is insane on this thing. I feel like I have complete control, and you'll see some shots later on, and I'll kind of do a live game commentary of what I'm thinking during each point. And it just feels really good. So I'm going to kind of jump in and out, and you can kind of see me warm up here, and I'll jump back in when the live game starts. Jumping back in here, and I'm here at the net. So in that last clip, you saw me taking ground strokes. I'm not sure if you can hear much of the poppiness, but there is a really unique sound compared to the Arrow series. And like I said, it could be because it's 14 millimeter, it could be because of the dual density. But I do like it. It really does have a nice sound to it, has a nice pop to it. And like I said, the hands at the net just feel really good with it. I think it's because it's a lightweight. So here's a clip of me just kind of hitting at the net, and then I'll talk more about it later, but everything feels really good about it. And I'm a little biased, being an ambassador for them, but this is definitely the best paddle they've released. The one thing I am concerned about is the durability. The dual density core is 2 cores fused together. Some are bigger, some are smaller. My biggest question is how long does that last? These eventually break. That is something I'm a little concerned about. And then I'll give you updates through my videos on how it feels as I upload more in the future. But at the moment, it's hitting really well. I haven't noticed anything strange about it, no defects, nothing like that you would expect, especially when it comes to new technology. But here I'm just hitting a little bit of dinks, hitting some ground strokes to the net, kind of moving my hands around. And I'll jump back in later when we get to the live video, but I do have a clip coming up here that kind of talks about like after warm-up, how the paddle feels as before I get the new overgrip on. first official thoughts on the Arma. This thing hits real hard. I didn't realize I was close to the camera. This thing is super poppy. If you like poppy paddles and you want a faster game, this is the paddle. Currently just gripping it real quick, but man, this thing hits like a truck. Just raw, no grips or anything. I like it a lot. So we're gonna get some gameplay with it and kind of see how it goes. But this thing can hit. So we're gonna see how it plays in live gameplay, not just warm-ups now. And we'll come back and I'll kind of give a final review. What I like, what I dislike, and stuff like that. But stay tuned and this thing hits like a truck so far. All right, so you heard the clip. Like I said, this thing hits like a truck. It's a little poppy, which honestly is really good for me, right? This is my first true power paddle, and this is something that I really like. As you can see, I missed like 2 shots in net. What a great start to this game. But it's really poppy. Now, this isn't necessarily bad for me. This is just something you need to get used to. I've only played with the Arrow series and then some like Amazon paddles when I first started. So having those poppy paddles is just something you need to get a feel for and get used to it. And that's okay. Especially with the new generations, they're leaning towards a more power and a faster game. So that is something that, as the game evolves, you kind of need to adjust and kind of get on the train, or you have to find a brand new method that hopefully works. And then for me, this, I'm enjoying the new power that comes with this paddle. Good shot there. So here I'm playing, with 3 other guys here. We're all probably averaging around like a 3.8 to 4.2 duper, right? The guy on my left there being about 4.3. The other 2 guys kind of hovering around that 3.5 to 4.0 level, and then I don't really have a true duper. I'm currently sitting at 3.0, but I've only played like 2 matches that I've recorded my doubles, and I think I'm a little bit better than that. I do have some tournaments coming up and towards the middle of the month here that I'm gonna try to play, or at the very least next month, and that'll kind of give me a better feel. I have entered like little round robin non-duper reported tournaments and played around the 3.0 and just kind of wiped the floor with that. So I think I'm a little bit higher than just 3.0. Wouldn't be surprised if I'm close like a 3.8, max like 4.1 or something like that. Just kind of getting off. So we're here to talk about the paddle. That's a good shot. So you can see I really like being at the net with this paddle. This thing, I don't know, I just have fast hands. I feel really comfortable with the net. I feel like I can get a good deflection on balls, and it's really nice being at the net. I feel more confident, and I don't know why that is. It could be the weight. It could be that maybe I've just gotten a little bit better over time, and now I'm getting more comfortable, and it's kind of coincidence, but I really do like how it feels at the net. And then, of course, I really do like just the power that it gives me. And you can kind of see him, hop stepping to the net, putting backhand balls away. So it feels good there. This is a really good paddle. I know I had some comments earlier, and that'll kind of get addressed in another clip. Ooh, good volley there. Couldn't get that. So there will be a clip later that kind of gives you my live, after 2 games. This is just 1 game, as my other game had a bad recording on it, so I'm not going to upload that one. I kind of just deleted it. I do have more games I'll upload over time, and then I might try to add more commentary and try to get a little bit better at this thing, as I'm kind of enjoying uploading to YouTube and sharing my thoughts and then my gameplay footage. But this paddle, it's really good. I'd recommend to anyone that's looking for that power paddle. It is a little bit on the pricey side, kind of around, I think the metallic came at $280. Which is a little bit pricier, but I have a little bit of a discount that brings down around $250, which is still fairly pricey for a lot of people, and I get that. But for someone like me that really wants better equipment, that's really trying to get better at pickleball and really enjoying it as like my main hobby, I don't really mind spending, as I don't really spend that much money outside of my hobbies. That's okay. But if you're looking for like a poppy paddle that's a lot cheaper, because I just missed the overhead there. Unfortunate. If you're looking for like a cheaper paddle, honestly, that Friday Fever paddle was really good. And this isn't really a review on them. You can see the guy in the gray there on the other side of the net. He has a Friday Fever, and he let me hit with it for a little bit. It was pretty good. It's fairly poppy. I wouldn't say it's better than the Arma by any means, but if you're looking for like a poppy paddle for like $100, that Friday Fever paddle, it was pretty good. And then, even the guy on the left here, to my left actually, he has one he just bought just for fun, and he was saying it's pretty good, especially for the price point. And so if you're looking for like poppy paddles and you're like, I don't really want to spend that $250, that Friday Fever paddle would be my choice. That being said, though, it's not going to be as good as the Arma, in my opinion. And if you have the funds and you're like, you know what, I really want the best equipment, or I want the newest stuff, that Arma paddle, it's hitting really well. Good grit on it. I would recommend Arma paddle to anyone that's looking for that poppy feel. I'll get hands to the net there. So that's just kind of my thoughts on it. I'm going to kind of jump in and out through this video and maybe, do a little commentary. I'll get hands there too, commentary on it. But overall, I have a clip coming towards the end of this video here that'll talk more about it as my live game, second game thoughts. But after playing for about 2-3 days, I can kind of say I really like it. This is going to be my main paddle, the one that I go with, and the one I really want to, just really get better with. Like, I really like these new generation paddles. Speeds the game up, makes it more fun. I like the control of it. But those are kind of just my thoughts on the paddle. I recommend it to anyone. And if if you're looking for this paddle, you're like, I'm gonna buy it regardless when it comes out June 10th here. I have a coupon code. It's gonna be MilesShow15. I'll put it down in the description there. You get 15% off all paddles and all equipment on Holbrook. But it is a real good paddle, and it'll come out June 10th again. Holbrook, they really knew what they're doing when they made this paddle. But I'll be in and out, but I do have a clip at the end that kind of gives you my second game thoughts, like right away, instead of sitting on it for 2 or 3 days. right, 2 games in, this thing hits. It has good grit. I know there's a comment asking about the grit of it. It feels real similar to the metallic from the Aero series, and which is a little more pop. Now that could be because it's a 14 millimeter thickness compared to my 16, or it could be the dual density. I can't really tell you, and I can't even tell you how it is compared to the carbon fiber, but all I know is I really like it. It's hitting hard. I feel like I'm placing the ball well. It's light. I have good hands with it. Overall, it's one that's gonna be my main paddle, and I might even buy another one just to have our backup or for whatever reason. But it thing's hitting really hard, and I really like it.